gang of society adjust us. Forward bias, but everyone invited. Tune in as we discuss and theorize it. We all super in this heroic environment. Blerd gang of society adjust us. Forward bias, but everyone
invited. We're gonna go over Prey. We're going over Prey with none other than Anime Trey.
What's up? What's up? What's good? What's good?
Yo, how you feeling?
Bruh.
How you feeling?
Well, let me tell you, I have to say I was absolutely terrified when I learned that Disney had acquired the property. That had me nervous. I was like, well, this is we're fixing to get neutered, watered down, you know what I'm saying? Extra sugar, artificial flavor, you know what I'm saying? Predator, it's gonna be terrible. But dog, I gotta say, they actually did a really good job.
Yeah.
In I guess you would say they retcon because they completely pushed AVP and AVPR, the Alien versus Predator, Alien versus Predator Requiem, completely out.
Yeah.
And they just went all the way, just starting from where Dutch comes in and then Danny, and that's it. So they just went right with the originals and left everything out. Now, which the only thing that I kind of had a little bit of an issue with is that I liked AVP. I liked Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah.
I liked Sanaa Lathan or whatever.
Yeah, Sanaa Lathan.
Yeah. I liked her character. I liked the way that they did. You know what I'm saying? The way they showed her art.
Storyline.
I thought it was good. You know what I'm saying? But and then trying to incorporate the humans into the Predator civilization, which they've done in the comics. I thought that's kind of how they were getting ready to kind of move into with this new movie, bringing in what's her name? What's the chick's name? Okay, well, anyway, the main character of Prey. I thought that they were gonna start.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to her.
We don't know her name. We will soon.
Murdered it, man. I mean, if I could say murder, can I say murder?
I think we can on this channel. We say a lot of crazy things around here. You know what I'm saying?
All right, but what do you think, bro?
I love the storyline that they went with. You know, I like the thought of seeing a predator in a different. I don't want to say different timeline, but just a different time, right?
Right.
We're going against humans with more primitive tools, more primitive hunting styles, right? I kind of like the progression, right, of the character. I thought they kind of slowed her down a little bit, right? I mentioned to you earlier, I got a little nervous, right? I get that you have to show the maturation of the character, right? So they showed her kind of failing against the lion, things like that. But there was one point in the movie where, at this point, I feel like you should be able to kill this rabbit. You know what I'm saying? She throws her little axe thing, pulls it back, misses the rabbit. Now we're eating rat that the dog caught. Like, I'm a little disappointed because I'm 20 minutes into an hour-and-a-half movie. Right?
And we still.
And I'm supposed to believe this woman's gonna kill a predator.
Right.
All right? Like, I'm already tracking who she's supposed to be at this point, right? But I mean, they did it, right? They did the damn thing. And it was enough, you know, like you said, when Disney took over, you get a little nervous. There's enough blood, both green and red.
I was surprised about that, dude.
The fight scene against the bear, you understand?
That was probably my favorite, honestly. I mean, it looked a little janky. The special effects got a little, you know what I'm saying? You could tell it was a little, like, you know, let's probably should have threw a little more dollars.
I mean, it's a Hulu movie, though. Joe discussed last week,
right.
We got to bring down that
expectation
just a little bit due to budget.
But the concept of him picking up the bear over his head and literally eviscerating him and showering himself in the blood. Dude, that was fantastic.
It was beautiful.
It almost gave me Revenant vibes. Have you ever seen The Revenant with
Leo?
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, bro. I'm the first one to tell you. I'm a sci-fi fiend, bro. Anything sci-fi, everything sci-fi. I watched Dark Matter and loved it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, you know. But dude, anything you start talking about like westerns and pioneer days, that shit bores me to tears. Though I went to see The Revenant in the movie theater and I was captivated from the start. But then learning the story behind it and everything, man, Prey gave me that same vibe where it was a lot of natural shots, a lot of natural, you know what I'm saying, natural lighting and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? The way they shot the full Comanche version Oh, bro.
And us being in Oklahoma here, I mean,
and that's probably why I had a little bit more of a tie to it, man.
Man, that was dope.
Yeah,
that
man.
was so dope.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
those
apocalypto vibes.
It was kind of about people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, shit. I mean, the war cries when they were fighting against the predator. The dude screaming like, you know. I mean, listen, the movie was phenomenal. You know, and you mentioned something about pioneer times. Can you imagine another movie where we get a predator show up and there's duels happening in the middle of the street and he's like, what the fuck are they doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, these the predators around here?
Right.
I mean, just different times. What was the one that you had mentioned earlier about the samurai?
Yeah.
How dope would that be?
There's supposed to be another one that they had mentioned about bringing into a separate times, a separate setting. And they had talked about bringing in that. Dude, that's going to be my favorite. Because having studied Kendo and having studied Japanese sword, I love that whole thing, you know, and of course being the anime guy, you know, whatever. So it's right, that's right up my alley, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to that.
So it was too easy to just fall into our format, right? Of the good, the bad, the ugly, because we definitely enjoyed the movie. We fell straight into the good, right?
Right.
So what's bad about the movie? You did kind of touch a little bit on the CGI, right? But I felt like that was kind of due to budget. I agree, but I mean, we have to understand the budget here, right? But is there anything else that you could kind of say that you thought was bad about it?
Let me think about that one, man.
Do we like it too much to even find anything ugly?
I will say this. As far as the bad is concerned, just my personal take. And I don't really even know if it was bad, but just the way that they kind of misled. I think it was more or less they were playing to the recognition from fans. Like, okay, we're gonna put the mud pit here, and everybody knows what the mud pit is.
Yeah, you know what's going down.
We all know what's going down. I'm like, oh, there's the goddamn mud pit.
Let's get it.
Here we go. All right. Well, and I'd already said it. Matter of fact, while I was watching it, man, I'm like, yep, here we go. I already know how the hell the rest of this is gonna go.
Yeah.
Now, in kind of veering away from the mud pit and then making the flowers about, you know what I'm saying, cooling the blood, cooling the body, and then making her cold enough to not register. That was dope. The bad in it, I guess you could say, was, like you said, just making her almost better than everybody at that point a little too soon. Like they should have showed her progression, her hero's arc a little bit, given more to. But I get it; they were working on time limits.
Working on time.
They were working on time with a restraining.
I mean, maybe that was their effort with the whole missing the rabbit thing I mentioned earlier.
Probably.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, but I definitely think she proved herself.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave her enough of that. So
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't think there was too much bad and ugly. I mean, the only thing ugly about it is it wasn't 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Let's
get to that. The only thing ugly about it is they didn't have another $50 million to throw at it. I mean, the movie, the storyline. I mean,
were you nervous? Were you nervous? I can understand it. We're probably a little bit nervous about investing that kind of money into it and throwing that kind of a time.
Yeah.
But I mean, for what they had managed to accomplish, you know, that was a history. It was a history-making set. That was the most indigenous people on one film set in the history.
Dude,
of
homie
movies,
that had the headdress on, he was like the number 2.
Yeah.
That shit was sick when he was running out there, yo.
Yes.
Man, the dude, he was all painted half, and he shot the damn thing out. And the way they're holding listen, man, this shit. I mean, I'm not even Native American. I'm sure the people around here, the ones who are Native, who are Comanche, they have to be going bananas about it. I would be walking around with my chin up my chest out right now.
I would be walking around with my face half
painted up, hair braided back. Shit, you couldn't tell me nothing right now.
Dare you to say some shit, bro.
Man. But guys, hey, that's going to do it for our movie review this week. If you got anything that you want to see us talk about, right, drop it in the comments. Let us know. We can pick a movie, see what you guys want us to see, and talk about it next week, man. But anyways, we're going to get back to the show. We'll give you a holler from me and Anime Trey.